And awesome. We're streaming on Facebook too. So if you guys want to pop in the chat where you're at in the world and what you're grateful for today to get really high vibe energy, we're here to increase your impact and income in the world. So you want to be in super high vibes for this. Awesome. From San Diego. Awesome. Grateful for friendship. Beautiful. Awesome. Wonderful. More people are popping on. So as you pop on, say where you're at in the world, something that you're grateful for, even if you're tuning into the Facebook replay, get intentional with this. What are you grateful for today? And start getting in those higher vibe energies. So today we're talking about how you can discover the 3 keys to increase your impact and income to 5 to 15 to 10K to whatever your next goal is months to support you in doing a lot of the subconscious clearings on that and move more in alignment with the version of you that your heart and soul is calling you to be. So if you're unfamiliar with me, I'm Laura McPhee. I'm a joyful goddess, a speaker, healer, and coach. And I love helping other light workers and coaches and healers and mentors and heart-centered entrepreneurs to increase their impact and income in the world, because especially right now, we're being called to show up and shine our light and be the change that we wish to see in the world. So I'm super excited to support all of you lovely souls with doing that. And I definitely encourage you guys to share this out to other people who feel called to it. I know that Kelly already did, which I love. And I love that beautiful friends get to connect together and go on these wonderful journeys together. So if you know anyone who needs this in the world, especially if you're watching on Facebook, you can feel free to share it out. And Katie is in Ontario, grateful for the opportunity to release limiting nonsense. Yes, definitely. And Kelly says, yeah, so excited. Awesome. Love all the enthusiasm going on. So I am Laura McPhee. If you're unfamiliar with me, I'll give you a little bit of my background, and then we're going to jump into the 3 keys that will close the gaps that have been holding you back between where you're at now and where you're desiring to be, which I'm super excited to do. So I have a background in theta healing. It's very amazing modality that allows you to clear, release, and let go of your limiting subconscious beliefs super, super quickly. So I'll go a little bit into theta healing in detail, especially some muscle testing that you can do a little bit later. But I'm also a master Reiki practitioner, which allows me to clear the stuff that's going on in your body. I'm empathic, they're cognizant, so I just get downloads of what will shift people. Number one thing that my clients or just anyone who works with me says is how are you in my brain? How do you know that's what's going on? And those kind of things. I'm also Master University graduate from the Tony Robbins world. So I have a lot of coaching industry world knowledge, masculine energy pieces, and also deep dive feminine work. And I'm also a sex coach. And I have 1,000,002 tools in my tool belt, which I absolutely love, which supports me in helping the light workers that are in front of me shine brighter, create way big changes in their business that helps them to really get the profitability and prosperity and pleasure that they're desiring in their life. Because you don't want to just have money, you want to have fun doing it, want to be in alignment with your soul's calling, doing it as well, and being fulfilled on all levels, which I love that I've done in my own life. And then I get to support all the beautiful souls that come into my world with the tools and wisdom and experience that I've learned as well. So I've been on the entrepreneurial journey for more than 3 years now, which has been super fun to do it full time. And then it's been very interesting to, especially when the lockdown started happening and those kind of things, that all of my clients were I'm so grateful that you're my business coach. And I was seeing myself as so much more than just that to them, that I was doing a ton of healing. We're doing work in all kinds of different areas in their world. And that was just something that I started feeling really called to doing. And then as soon as I started doing these how to increase your impact series, so before I didn't really have the intention of the exact dollar amounts, this kind of masterclass today in general will be moving people specifically towards 5K, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10K and beyond kind of range, limiting belief systems that can hold you back and moving you forward. But I was having clients who were yeah, I'm hitting my first 5K, 10K, 15K months while doing this work and by clearing this stuff out. And it makes sense because we're holistic creatures. So if you're limited or have something shut down in one aspect of your life, it's affecting the other areas. So even in my sexuality work, if people aren't okay to receive in the bedroom with their partner intimately, then they're not going to be receiving from the universe, from their clients in the ways that they desire to also. So it's been very interesting to see all of the intricate connections between how all of our worlds overlap. And you can't really box in one area of your life. Everything's connected always, which is super fun because then you can play in some really fun realms over here. And it also expands and pleasurably impacts your business, which is so amazing. Awesome. And Kelly's like such interesting connection. I know, it's amazing. And I love it because then you only have to do the work in one area and then it'll like positively impact them all instead of being like, oh, I have to like heal codependency here and here and here and here. It's like, well, if you start to heal the codependency here and have better boundaries here, that better boundaries energy will show up everywhere in your world and you get to have those like impacts just like exponentially compounded on each other, which is so fun. Okay. The other thing that I like to add in is that I'm a reflector in human design. So if you're super unfamiliar with human design, there's 4 different types. So manifesting generators, reflectors, and then projectors. So out of all of those types, 1% is reflectors. We're kind of like the gauge of humanity. So a ton of us aren't really needed. But what's super fun is that out of all the other types, so the 99% have different blocks within their human design type that's just like always blocked, and reflectors have all of our centers open. So even just on this call, you guys get to experience, while being in my energy, all of your centers open and flowy and being good and awesome. I'm also an amplifier. So you guys get to be amplified by your brightness, by your light in the world, the love that's inside of you. Like you guys get to be amplified being right here on this call, being in my presence, which is a super fun side piece that my clients get where I'm like, if we didn't talk at all on this call, they'd get up levels and vibrational frequency shifts and changes, which is super fun that like it gets to be easy. Like everything doesn't have to be hard work and processing and deep dive inner child work and crying and dark nights of the soul to break through to the next level, although some of those pieces are sometimes needed and we get to honor those parts of our journey where that's happened before. But I'm very much a way shower of like ease, speed, grace, joy, and love, and it gets to be that easy. It gets to be so supportive and fun, and you get to play with things on your journey, and everything doesn't have to be so hard and so serious. And I also get the like being in controlling and things being so hard and so serious because I used to be like corporate accountant, control freak, perfectionist, people pleaser, all those things. So I also totally get where all of those come from. But we get to also have life be really easy and fun and shift into our feminine more, which we're also going to talk about more tonight. So I'm super excited to talk about the 3 keys. So the 3 keys are clearing your subconscious blocks and limiting beliefs that have been holding you back, creating your abundant identity. So we're going to talk about that. And I love talking about money. And then the last key is harmonizing your masculine and feminine energy. So we're going to go through those keys. I'm going to do a bunch of healing downloads all throughout because I want you guys, even if you're just like, I'm tuning in for this call, I want you guys to get so much value and huge impact and shifts and changes that will support you for the rest of your lives, which always super excites me and is why I'm working with light workers. Particularly right now, I used to work with a number of different types of clients. And now I'm like, I need to be working with people who are out there making other changes in the world because these shifts and changes affect you and like the whole entire rest of your life. It shifts and changes, and future lives, if you believe in past lives and future lives, it shifts and changes the people around you, your family, your loved ones, your friends, the community that you're in. So that's why I'm also serving specifically light workers, because they do all of that, plus they affect their clients and then their clients' friends and family and loved ones and their communities, and it just like radiates and ripples out exponentially, which like lights my soul on fire and is so why I do this work. And also light workers showing up at this time are being super supported. I felt really called to doing like very quick last minute, like told people basically a day or two before I was doing it, back in end of April, May. I did it then and made like 19K off the back end of one of these. And then I was like, okay, well, my private roster is getting full. Let's start doing some like group ones, or like just doing this to really light the light workers up so that they can just like move forward and do this. And then I like had an amazing group. So we just completed that course. That's why I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to a 3-month group and like to keep this going, which I'll talk a little bit more at the end and give you guys an invitation to, if you're feeling called to move forward with me on your journey, if you're feeling called to other people as well. Beautiful, wonderful, amazing. I would love to support you guys for the next hour while you're here. So theta healing is amazing. It's definitely the tool that's changed my life the most. I use it every single day on myself. And it's because it deals with your theta brainwave. So every single night, you naturally and normally go into your theta brainwave when you go to sleep. And it's awesome because you get to just tap into that to see what subconscious limiting beliefs you have now. So I'll show you some muscle testing to see, ooh, what's my limiting belief system at right now? Where do I have these beliefs? Do I not have these beliefs? So a really quick and easy way to do muscle testing is putting your thumb and finger together. You can kind of do an OK sign. And it works because your muscles are connected to your subconscious. So when you have that okay, it'll stay strong when you're saying a true statement, and it'll get weak if you're saying a lie to yourself. So muscle testing isn't like a crystal magic ball that can tell you things about the future. It's just a true or false thing of what your belief system is right now in this present moment. So you guys can kind of hold it like this. I'm going to hold it like that so you guys can easily see. You're going to use your other fingers as pliers. And then you're going to say out loud, my name is, and say your actual name. So if I say my name is Laura, and then I pull, it stays strong. So I pulled, but it stayed strong because it's a true statement. So everyone can try with their names right now. And then if I pull and say my name is Laura, or sorry, if I say my name is Jack, it'll break. And there's no one on here with the name Jack, so everyone can try that. Do you want to like give me some thumbs up, chat in the comments, make sure it's working? Or let me know if it's not working. The other way that you can do it, if that's not working, awesome, it's working for me. Yay, wonderful. If that way isn't your most fun way, the other way you can do it is if you're standing up and just being really grounded, taking a deep breath. And then with your feet flat and center, grounded underneath you, you're going to say yes out loud. And just notice how your body moves. And then you can return back to center, take a deep breath. And say no out loud. And just noticing how your body moves. So a lot of people tend to move forward for their yes, not all people, but most people do. And a lot of people move back for no. So then everyone can try their yes here. If you say yes and pull, it'll go yes, and no's break. It's just different energy. So our muscles respond differently, which is super interesting. And it's working for Kelly. Awesome. So cool. Yay. Okay. I felt a jolt of energy when I said yes and nothing when I said no. awesome. Great awareness of your body's response. So good. Amazing. Okay. So we're going to do theta healing downloads throughout. So I'm not going to make you muscle test all the little beliefs before I clear them, but that's how you guys can test them to be like, ooh, what's going on in my world? Or if I'm like, what amount of money are you okay in receiving? You can muscle test like, I'm available and open to receive $5,000 a month. Yes. $500,000 a month. No, it's like, ooh, okay. So there's a gap between that and that. So it's like, where am I at? What's my money ceiling? To do muscle testing on where your money ceiling's at. So it's all information. It's not something where you have to like be hard on yourself or judge or criticize. It's important to know because a lot of people are going around being like saying affirmations and with it and doing work with their conscious mind. And doing work with your conscious mind is awesome and amazing. However, it's not the whole picture. So if you like go around with the 5% of your conscious mind versus the 95% of your subconscious mind being out of alignment with it, then it doesn't really matter much what you're going to say or do up here with your 5% versus what the 95% is believing that you're not worthy or deserving of more than $5,000 or $10,000 a month or whatever your next goal is. So it's important to just tune into that and then to show up and do the healing work on that. So subconscious belief work is super simple. All you have to do is say yes when I give you all these different downloads. So I'm going to say a bunch of different things and you can say yes to receive the healing, and it'll just move you into your theta brainwave state. It'll clear it out from your subconscious, and it's that easy, which is so wonderful and amazing. And sometimes people are curious about where their subconscious negative beliefs came from, because it's not like we signed up consciously and are like, yeah, I want to totally never hit $10,000 no matter how hard I try. That's not something that we're consciously doing. But in your subconscious, there can be all kinds of limiting beliefs that we picked up from our friends, from society, from our family members. And they can have lack mentality and fears and scarcity and all kinds of things in there that we don't want, that's currently creating the gap between where you're at right now and where you're desiring to be. But every time you clear it out, you get to align with your truth and what you're actually desiring, what your heart's desiring, which is super fun and amazing. So the first one on clearing your subconscious beliefs, we're just going to start doing a ton of healing downloads just because some people's energy is like heavy and like clunky, and there's just some stuff that feels ready to be cleared. So if you'd like to clear, release, and let go of any heaviness, self-doubt, trust issues, any anxiety from today or other times in your life, any, heaviness or overwhelm or just chaotic energy that's been in your world or that you've taken on from the collective. If you would like to clear, release, and let go of all of that now, you can say yes. And we'll fill you up with your higher power's unconditional love. And you want to know what it looks like and feels like to be grounded in this present moment in your life, to be more present in your day-to-day life, and to give yourself permission on all levels to truly show up and shine your light. And if you'd like all of that, you can say yes. And you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all other subconscious beliefs that are at your surface that have been holding you back, that aren't in alignment with who you're at and who you're desiring to be at this point in time in your life, that might have served you in the past. You can clear, release, and let go of old stories or old excuses or old identities that no longer fit who you see yourself as today and who you're continuing to grow into and expand into with ease. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Okay, so then some like conscious things where we can maybe say that we want to make more money, where you're like, yeah, I totally want to have a ton of people in my audience, but you're really nervous about getting some haters. So it's like, if you're only having like 30 people watch your videos or 300 people watch your videos, that's what it is consistently, then that's kind of like what you're feeling safe to be seen as. And if that's where you're desiring to be and you totally want to serve that forever, yay, awesome and amazing. But if you're like, I feel like I'm here to be on big stages. Like I feel like I'm here to serve thousands and thousands of people or have tens of thousands of people watch my videos and to like really influence and impact all of these beautiful souls. Then you get to be like, ooh, okay, so here's where I'm at. Here's where I want to be. There's a gap here. So what's showing up in me to clear? Because it's our own stuff, which doesn't always feel great to be like, okay, it's me. There's something going on in me. There's something that's needing to be healed, that needs to get worked on. There's a limiting belief system somewhere. But it's also super exciting and awesome because it's only you holding yourself back. There's no one outside of yourself holding a bunch of keys being like, no, you have to like come to me and get this magic key in order to move forward. You're the one who's co-creating with the universe, with God, creator, source energy, your higher power, whatever you want to call that, amazing energy that's outside of yourself. You get to co-create the life of your dreams and you're the one who gets to choose, which is super fun. So some things, especially around like haters, people can have like a lot of resistance to, especially if they've had rejection in the past or abandonment, or they were bullied when they were a child and they have huge resistances to being seen at the next level and to speak your truth at the next level, or to say something where it might be perceived as like harsh or bitchy or a little bit like off tone of like what other people would say. And it's like, but if that's who you need to show up as, to be your authentic self, to call in and magnetize your ideal soulmate clients, and you get to be like that. You get to say the harsh truth without sugarcoating it all the time. If you're seeing other people who are like, they're sugarcoating it. I was talking to someone earlier today who's like, they're sugarcoating it. And like, I can't stand that. And like the couple people that I say the real stuff to, they like it, but I only do that once they get in my container, once they do that. And it's like, or you could be your total true self with like your actual medicine that the world needs, that your soulmate clients need, and then you'll actually magnetize people to you instead of like being like, oh, well, I'm this person behind closed doors, I'm this person to my clients who are already paying me, but I don't want someone from university or from my family or from whatever to like maybe happen upon it on Facebook. I get a lot of clients who are nervous about their family, especially when I moved into the sexuality space. I was nervous of that. So I totally get it. And there's also practical things that you can do as you like bridge that gap between feeling totally fully expressed and awesome, shining your light 365 with every single person around you. There's also very practical steps you can do by putting people on restricted friends lists. You can also just block people that you don't want to have in your world, like especially if it's like a random person you went to high school with. It's like, do they really need to be on your friends list if you're going to be nervous to share your truth in your next offering and worry if they care or see you ever ever selling something online, like it's important to clear out that space so you have space for the new to come in. And also just to like feel good about who you are in your own skin and sharing it with the people around you and all the people on the internet that desire to go to your page and see you. And to also like own that like you get to be inspiring to people who you have soul contracts with, which is why I fully believe that like you can't say the wrong thing to the right person and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. Like we have soul contracts on a soul level with the people that we're here to share our light and our work and our love within the world. And you get to like kind of rest in that and own that you get to show up as yourself. And there's people who are craving that, who are thirsty for it, who are been looking for it, who can't find it. And I also fully believe that like when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and when the teacher is ready, the students appear. So sometimes people don't want to move forward to their next level because, oh, well, I have all of these clients who are at this old rate who know me like this, who have been doing this. And if it's not serving and supporting you, you can also transition that you can still serve and support the existing clients that you have at their existing rates and all those things while you continue to charge more, while you continue to add different features to your packages and your programs as you continue to raise your rates, because you're the only one in charge of your rates and you can increase your rates all the time. And most light workers, unfortunately, are charging way too low in the world and then get stuck with, I have to save everyone and everyone can't afford it. Versus the belief system that when you're super supported by your higher paying clients, by the higher income streams that you have over here in private or high-end group or whatever you're doing over here, you'll have even more to push into the overflow of the other things. When you're serving from an overflow and you're financially taken care of, you have even more energy to help and support people at lower levels. Like you can't create a book out of nothing, and books can then be in the library. So you can help a ton of people for free in the future by people looking at your book, or if you want to do a free ebook or free things, like you have way more space to support all the different people at different levels. And you can put things on low end and do one-off workshops and $97 thing or $25 thing when you're served and supported over here. But that was a big block that I had when I started my business, was that I felt so called. I was very in my savior complex and like martyrdom syndrome of I need to save all the people and all the world and all the things and all the time. And it was very overwhelming and was starting to make me burn out because I was doing workshops at like $25 a pop. And that takes a lot of people. You have to enroll a lot of people. You have to invite a lot of people in order to do that. Versus being like, okay, I'm going to have one client at $2,000, or I'm going to see a ton of people at $20 while continuously like serving them and getting them into the next thing and trying to get them into the next thing and like doing that kind of hustle and all that stuff. Yeah, there's like a bunch of energies coming through on that. And I'm like, in the other masterclasses I've done on this way earlier, and I'm shifting this one so that it's not the same as all the other ones. But if you want to go deeper into why that burnt me out and why that's unsustainable, the difference between like a bunch of low-end workshops versus higher end things, check out some of my older ones that I did back in like June, May time, because I also put up an actual Excel document being like, this is why this isn't sustainable. This is why private high end, you need a couple people at a higher dollar amount and you're good, versus a lot of people that you need to enroll at a lower dollar amount. So if that's interesting to you, I already have all kinds of interesting material on that. But then to pop back into what's going on right now, let's clear, release, and let go some of these subconscious belief systems that could be holding you back. So do you want to clear, release, and let go of the fear of haters, of getting more negative experiences online, that you can allow yourself to be seen by even more people and to be seen by larger amounts of humans, so that you can call in more of your soul tribe, more of your actual ideal soulmate clients, and connect with them and allow yourself to be strong and stable and supported in any and all experiences that you have with negative commenters or haters that show up in your world. And if you'd like to know that it's safe to do this and that it's time and that you're ready, you can say yes. And you want to clearly let go of the fear of criticism, of negative comments, and of like other people seeing it, like other people in your world seeing negative things or not being able to moderate the comments or stuff like that. And if you'd like to clearly release and let go of those fears, you can say yes. And you want to know what your life looks like and feels like when you feel safe in your truth, sharing online, that you can allow yourself to speak confidently and assertively your truth, and that you can clear, release, and let go of all the stories and excuses that have held you back up until this point. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all martyrdom syndrome, any heaviness of like feeling like you need to be someone's savior. So your family's savior, a client's savior, any and all codependent experiences that you're having with people right now, that you can clear, release, and let go of those on all levels. And if you would like that, you can say yes. And you want to clear, release, and let go of your fear of success, your fear of failure, your fear of failing at a bigger and bigger platform or more publicly, and instead see from your higher power's perspective the positives that you gain from the experiences of quote failure, and that you can learn from those experiences and allow progress to be more important to you than perfection or perceived failure. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And you want to give yourself permission to be seen by more people and to clear, release, and let go of the throat chakra blocks that are currently at your surface that have caused any and all constriction or shutdown, where you wanted to say something but you were nervous to, where you wanted to be on that stage but you weren't yet, and you like have been beating yourself up or shaming yourself or blaming yourself for not being good enough. You can clear, release, and let go of all of those old energies. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Okay, and just to check in with everyone so far, how's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling with those downloads? And definitely take a sip of water. Awesome, got a thumbs up. Cool. You're good. Awesome. Yay, good, good, good. Cool. So number 2 is creating your abundant identity, which is so fun and amazing. Awesome, getting more thumbs up. Okay, cool. Even if you're on your phone, you can like send a little thumbs up icon. That's awesome. Okay, and the love and heart. Oh, thank you. Wonderful. Glad everyone's feeling good. So then your second identity. So I always love stepping into like the next level version of myself. And throughout my journey, I've created like Laura point 2, Laura 3.0, Laura 10.0, all those different versions. And I love creating like Laura, like wealthy woman identity and abundant energy and moving into those ones. So whatever you want to call your abundant identity, like having that solidly where you're like, this is my ideal life. And in the last version of this I talked about how to create your ideal life and creating a be to have list and getting more clear on those things. But for this one, we're going to like move more into the energy of embodying it. I'm feeling that for people's energies right now today, which is super fun. And also I connect to the people's energies who are on live and also catching the replay, because I know I got a ton of emails being like, I'm going to catch the replay. I'm not sure if I can make this. When's the replay going out? Those kind of things. So this is also for everyone connecting to the replay as well. I'm tuned into your guys' energies, so you're good there. And anyone brand new to energy healing in general, this now, present moment, whenever you're watching it live or on a replay, the healing energy will work. So you can also watch the replays of this multiple times and it'll support you as well, which is so fun. So yeah, we're going to move into a little bit of like embodying that next level energy, and then go into like money mindset stuff, because that's always a super fun thing to play with. So because this is coming up first, I'll get everyone to close their eyes and take a couple breaths. Allow yourself to ground into this present moment. You might notice your shoulders drop, allowing your breathing to slow down. Just breathing into this present moment that you've gifted yourself. to expand into your next level version. And if you tune into your heart center and just breathe there, we're going to open your heart fully to connecting to this next level identity, this abundant identity that you're choosing to create in this moment and that you're committed to stepping into. And when you first connect into this abundant identity, what do you look like? What are you wearing? What does it feel like to be this abundant identity version of yourself? And staying in that heart open space. Who's surrounding you? Who are your loved ones and friends as this version of yourself? And if you're noticing anyone isn't there, because you're like, oh, that's the old version of me's friends. That's someone who's always in victim, or that's someone who is in constriction about their energy and is always saying, I can't afford it, and that's not going to work out, and they're not there. Just breathing through that, breathing through any noticings you're having. And then noticing the types of clients that you have. What's it feel like to be surrounded by them, to have them in your world? And again, if you're noticing any of your current clients not there at this next level, because you've been having them at too small of a rate for such a long time, because they're kind of pains in your ass, because they just haven't been respecting your boundaries. If anyone's not there, again, just breathing through any noticings. And then allowing yourself to take a look around for anyone else that you're calling in as this next level abundant identity that you know you're like, I'm going to be on their stages. We're going to partner on these things. I'm going to have collaborations with them. This person's going to endorse my book and love reading it and share it with their audience. Who else is being called into this next level version of you? Who will be there? What rooms will you be in as this next level? And especially for those of you who are single, what person is being called into this level of you? And what's all of this feel like, surrounded by all of these beautiful souls who will be magnetized and attracted to this next level version of yourself that you're co-creating in this moment and choosing to step into even more fully, even more deeply? And if you tune into your environment around you, what's that look like? What's that feel like? What's it look like in your office or at your home? And what do the other environments that you travel into look like and feel like? What's it look like at those hotel rooms that you're staying at? Are they 5-star? Are they beautiful, luxurious, full Airbnb homes? Just tuning into this up-leveled, abundant identity and what's normalized and standardized as this level version of you. What are these new non-negotiables? I'll give you one last moment to look around at the people, places, things all around you as this abundant identity. What's it look like? What's it feel like? Noticing any and all good feelings and any and all like lingering bits of like, oh, this will never happen, or this part's too good to be true. Just awareness, just noticing what's coming up. There's no good, there's no bad. We're just noticing. And you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all negative judgments that you've had throughout this process around it not being true, it being really hard to get there. It's going to take a lot of time. Any and all discouraging thoughts that popped up in your head, or any and all fears, worries, and anxieties around how to get there, not knowing the how, not knowing how to release toxic or negative people out of your world, or what that's going to look like, or how hard that's going to be. Any and all things that popped up that feel hard or heavy or sticky, any blocks, any judgments, any junk that's like blocking your way. If you would like to clear, release, and let go of all of that, you can say yes. And you want to know what it looks like and feels like to integrate and embody this next level abundant identity. That you can choose to be her or him in this present moment, or they, if you choose to identify as they. And that you know who you are and what your life looks like with all of this. This next level ideal version of yourself and the world around you. Knowing that you're worthy and deserving of it, that this is your birthright, and that it's safe and that you're able to make these inspired action steps in your life to co-create this as your actual identity, as your actual future. And if you'd like all of that, you can say yes. I'll just let you guys breathe in that energy for a bit. And slowly moving out of it. So if you want to like stretch. Let's share some body sensations. What are you feeling in your body, or how's that feeling? Just getting a check in. Sometimes this process is a little bit emotional for people because they're like, oh, I'm gonna have to like let go of my old identity. And sometimes it's sad. I've done like multiple grieving ceremonies throughout my life to be like, oh, I have to let go of this old version of myself. I've had to let go of partners. I've let go of a lot of things in my world to be like, I'm gonna let this go and create space for the next thing. Because right now, if I wanted to put coffee in this, I'd have to dump out the water. You always have to make space for the things. That's just how energy works. That's how this plane works, is that we have to create space for the things that we want to move into it. So if you want to share in the chat, or even if you're catching the replay on Facebook, you can put how your body is feeling in this moment, how that was for you, any inspiration that you got, anything you feel called to sharing, and also declaring. If you're like, I'm fucking like the millionaire version of myself now, fucking declare it. Awesome. So I feel warm and hopeful, beautiful. Feeling letting go of my corporate job identity. Beautiful. Feels big. Yes. Oh, love it. So good. Thank you, lovely people, for sharing. Okay. So then from this place where you just saw, you just embodied, you connected to it from that heart open space, and all of your heart's desires are for you. They're from God, creator, source, energy, universe. Like they're seated in you for a reason. We're not here to live an unfulfilled life where we get to the end of it and we're just filled with resentment or regret for not going after it. We get to truly be like, all of my heart's desires are for me. And sometimes they're scary as fuck. Like, I get it. Like, for me, like this multi-billion world changer version of myself came through, and it's like, oh, that's interesting. Okay, cool. And it also makes sense because when I was going through different parts of my healing journey when I was younger, like I'd have things like, by the time I'm this age, I'm gonna give like millions of dollars to green initiatives and create a spiritual program for youths and like hopefully find investors or find a way to make it free or like do these things. And I was like desiring these big world changing things and was a little bit nervous. Like my human was a little bit nervous to own how big and vast and huge and scary that can be. And the more I share that publicly, the more I get people who are like, ooh, when you start working on that project, I want to have a piece on that. Or, ooh, I have someone to connect you to when this is moving through around that. So the more you speak your big dreams, hopes, desires, your heart and soul's calling in the world, things will show up, which is so amazing and wonderful because then you get to be in alignment with that and other people who are in alignment with that. And the more I've been speaking my bigger truths into the world, I have a lot of clients who will publicly or who will publicly not share it, who will privately be like, but what I really wanted to say was this, because I know that the book that I'm going to write one day is going to like really resonate with Oprah and I'm going to be on a Super Soul Sunday, or I'm going to create this, or I'm going to have this impact in this area of the world. And they're nervous to share it publicly, but they're like, because you're sharing this, I know that you have like done this work to like move through these big things and I want to be there too. And I'm here to be a world changer too. And I love, 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 love my clients who are like that at all stages of their journey, being like the little seedling version of the next level version of yourself, being like, I'm just like starting to grow these roots and it's like a little baby seedling and I don't want a lot of people to like know about it yet, and totally honor that, because when you have this little baby seedling, you and whoever you trust most gets to like love it and give it sunshine and nourish it and like protect it, because having a bunch of haters right off the get-go smush on it isn't going to be the most thriving experience for it. So there's definitely been parts of my journey where I'm like, ooh, this is a new thing and I'm going to grow it within me. And then when I grow it within me, and then I'm going to share it with more people and share it with more people and share it with more people. So that by the time I'm sharing it with like a big public audience, it's like a tree that has solid roots and a strong foundation and a big trunk, so that someone could like come up and kick it. Like you can kick a tree and it's not going to do anything to a tree. If someone comes up and kicks a little seedling, that could totally destroy it and wipe it out. So it's also important for us to like honor and love the stage that we're at on our journey and be surrounded by the love that we need to. And if it's just our love at the beginning, that's awesome. If it's the love of you and the coach or healer that you're working with, that's awesome. Or the people that you like really love and connect with, like other peers or entrepreneurs or just like amazing heart-centered friends, awesome. And then you can feel stronger and stronger as you grow, which is super fun. And I'll tune back into the chat and then we'll talk about reverse engineering from what we just tapped into. Okay, I had this great visualization of being on stage in front of thousands of people, giving a talk. My book is a bestseller, and my ideal husband is waiting backstage and cheering me on. Yes! Oh my God, I love it. Oh, so good. Amazing. Awesome. You also got amazing comments. Love it, love it, love it. Which is also why I love doing group stuff and why I'm moving a lot more to having group stuff, because you getting cheerleaded on by your peers is so nourishing and so supportive and so loving and amazing. And it's been amazing because the people who were just in the six plus, we kind of went a couple extra weeks on that because I'm like, oh my gosh, let's like keep growing and doing all the things. And I felt really called to, and I always do things that I'm really called to doing. Yeah, 3 of the ladies from that are already in there and they're like, oh, I already have like soul sister connections, and they're cheerleading each other on, and it's like so beautiful and exciting and amazing. And I'm just like so excited to create even more communities like this, because the world gets to be a loving, heart-centered space, and all of us showing up and being that for ourselves and each other just allows it to ripple out and expand in the world, because the world for sure needs more love right now, and we get to be those way showers and those like bright lights for the rest of the world. Okay, so a practical piece of what we just did. It's smart to reverse engineer things, to be like, okay, if this is where I'm going, this is my end goal. If you want to take a really big one, or if you want to like bite size them down, it's smart to reverse engineer them, to be like, okay, what is and isn't going to be allowed in my world moving forward for this to be healthy for me? What are my next steps? And I'm also going to talk about some inspired action energy and do some downloads that when we get into like harmonized energy. So if you look at your, for example, I'm on stage with a book, are you going to be the version of you who sells programs for less than $1,000? Or are you going to be the version of you who has more exclusive, higher paying clients, higher paying group of private clients? So you can have the space and time in your day to create a book. Because I have a friend who made a book and she does not make much profit off of it. It is a very small amount compared to all the different other places of getting it published and publishing companies and hard copies and all the different things. So it's important to be like, okay, so is this going to be more heart-centered project where I'm like, I really just want other people to get this out in the world? Like, you can totally make tons of money off books. Like, that's also a world and reality that you can live in. And sometimes it takes a couple books to get there. Sometimes it takes building your audience and building your platforms a lot bigger to get there. So some people are like, ooh, I'm going to move this from like a heart-centered space of like, this is for me to serve more people. Like, I don't care how much money I'm making from the book. Like, this is me sharing the things that have helped me along my journey so that I can pay it forward to the other people who need it and they would be inspiring too. So a big thing that can happen around here is like people getting nervous to raise their rates, being afraid that people won't pay it, that they're going to lose their current clients, that people are going to judge them, maybe that's too high, or they're going to feel like selfish or bad or wrong taking that much money. And like taking money, they're a little bit in the take energy. So I always like kind of up level my clients' verbiage around things, because I'm also like super sensitive to that, and I'll see just in like people talking like basically like neon signs, like things that are that are out of alignment with their next level version of themselves. I love all the downloads that are coming in. So a big thing to just release from your world right now is saying things are hard. Like, I have to do hard work, or saying trying, like as soon as you decide. So the decision that you've just made to step into this next level version of yourself, you are doing it. So you're no longer, oh, I'm trying to write a book, or I'm trying to get on someone's stage. You are a speaker who is looking for platforms to speak on. You're in that I am energy, and the universe will be attracted to that and support that energy so much more than just like, I'm trying. You can try your whole life at something, and it's like, yeah, they're just trying it. They're just kind of figuring it out. They're kind of just like in this try energy versus I am. And the second you say I am, the like whole world lines up to back that up, which is so fun. I'll tune into the chat because I saw that popping in. Okay. Nervous for anyone to pay more than nothing. Yeah. So having those things where it's like, okay, I can't make a super thriving business with just doing a bunch of free things right now. But when you have support, when you have a higher paying income or multiple income streams over here, then you get to serve from your overflow. If you want to do things for pro bono, if you want to do free webinars, free masterclasses, free offerings for people, there's a ton of people who have a ton of money who do free offerings, free trainings, who put their books available for free sometimes. Like, there's so many options that you can choose to give generously from when you're in a more stable, supported, overflowing space. And it feels so much better to do it than have this like back of your mind resentment that, well, I did this thing for you and you're not paying me the money that I deserve, or not at the rate that I'm at now in my head. Because there's multiple light workers that I'm even talking to right now who are like, oh, I don't want to like jump to that next level. And it can just be, I'm ready, I'm there. It's not a big thing, it's not a huge shift. You can just be here and choose it and align with that and have your energy in alignment with that. So we'll do some clearings for that as well. Another thing, and I'm also very aware of time, I love that there's just so much more energy on this one, like of like all the different things to come through. So if you want to go watch the other one, I gave a lot bigger of a talk around like up leveling your rituals and like day-to-day rituals and tuning into like how that's feeling in your body. what it's feeling like to be like, okay, cool. Like maybe your self-care rituals in the morning supported you in becoming the version that you are now. But if you really tune into it, do you want to wake up and do yoga, or is like waking up and going for a run feeling like that might light you up more? That's more in alignment with this version of yourself that you are now and that you're stepping into. So I went a lot deeper into that in the past one that I did last Thursday. So I'm sure that's up on my YouTube. So if you want to check it out there, you can totally do that. But yeah, being even more grateful for your world right now and blessing and releasing the things that you're choosing to let go of. So it's like, okay, if I need to let go of my lowest paying client who's very much draining my energy at this point, who sends me all these texts or big long emails or is wanting like unlimited support in Voxer, and I only really wanted to like talk to them for check-ins, and I only had Voxer meant for like quick check-ins, but I'm spending like hours on all my Voxer requests and all these things, like being aware of what you get to be grateful for, to be like, I'm really grateful for this client. I'm really grateful for these people in my life, and I'm choosing to bless and release them to someone else, their next level. Even if you're like in a corporate job right now. When I was in my corporate job, I had to be intentional where I'm like, I'm super grateful for this time in my life when I'm transitioning. And this is being so supportive because I have stable income consistently coming in. And this is supporting me in building my dreams and desires as I'm doing all of these things. So you can have a ton of benefits that you're consciously getting from a transition space right now, and be like, and I'm blessing and releasing any and all old things that no longer serve me. I'm just releasing it completely in all levels. So you get to choose that completely in all levels, how you're feeling right now. And some people have huge resentment that they're in the middle of a transition piece, that they're like, oh, like this part doesn't feel good and this part doesn't feel good. But it moves way better. Like love is the highest vibrational energy. So you can love your environment right now. Second vibrational energy is like gratitude. Love and gratitude, being in those will change your world. So you being like, oh, I'm so grateful for this consistent income coming in from this client who's at this rate. I'm super grateful for the consistent income of my current day job. And I'm moving forward towards these things so that you get to really like show up in alignment with it and be like, and I'm blessing and releasing these things to someone else. And when I chose to bless and release my corporate job, it went to someone who was thrilled beyond their mind to have it. And they had children at the time, so they had the ability to say boundaries like, hey, I'm leaving at 5 o'clock and I'm not doing anything else. And then they like broke my old job back into 2 jobs, because that's what happened when I got a promotion. And they were just like, Laura's doing it, we don't have to really care about that, because I did not have the boundaries to. I did not have the energetic boundaries or the ability to say them. So you shifting happens first. You shifting, you knowing what your next level version of your identity is, your boundaries, all those things, that happens first. And then you communicate it to the world. And also when you shift first, sometimes that energetic stuff will shake out the old people who aren't meant to be in your world right now, will shake out some of those not great feeling experiences. And then what's left is like, okay, well, I can communicate this to the remaining people. It can be very easy, which is super, super fun. And I also see that my amazing VA just went and got last week's replay. So for those of you who are on right now, last week's replay is just right there. You can grab it that easy. So good. I love how easily things can be. And also I love how good things I am with like manifesting. So I manifested the beautiful Connie, and she is the best VA. So I love it. Okay, so do you want to clear release and let go of all of the old stuff from your old identity that is not serving you? Old identities around what you should be charging, what your rates should be, what your rituals should be, what should and shouldn't be in your world, that you can clearly let go of the stories around that. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. Okay, and also in last week's replay, I did some body block releasing too. So there's tons of other stuff from last week's replay. And that's why all of these calls are very unique, because I'll tune into the people's energies who are on. So key number 3 is harmonizing your masculine and feminine energy. So a lot of people who are raised in these North American societies that we have are kind of conditioned to be hypermasculine. So both men and women. And when I say masculine energy and feminine energy, I'm not referring to men and women. I'm referring to the energy. So some people like to call it like yin and yang, like that pretty picture where there's like black and white, yin and yang. because it's not about the gender, it's about the energy. So the masculine is more like competitive and go, go, go and do and be successful and like out there in the world doing, versus the feminine is more like receiving, surrendering, going with the flow, like divine feminine, wild feminine, all those kinds of energies. So me included, being in this society, women especially can be way on the like hypermasculine energy scale. So it's an unhealthy, toxic level where it doesn't feel good, but you feel like you have to do it. It requires a ton of energy. It feels hard. There's resistance to doing it, but you can do it. And you can exceed in being an overachiever and perfectionistic and all the things like I was, and like climb the corporate ladder and be a high achiever and get all the money. And it's so great, but it doesn't feel great. It's not creating happiness. So for me, that looked like I had a high paying job and a bunch of money in the bank, and I got to the end point, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. I did not have the time in my life for the friends that I wanted. I was single at the time. I was like, this isn't working. I was super hyper masculine energy and it was not working for me. So then I had to deep dive into my feminine and be like, okay, what's it look like to be surrendered, to not be in such crazy control all the time? To be going with the flow, to allowing myself to receive, to enjoying life, to being in those spaces more, and to not just be going, doing all the time, like hustling for my worthiness, hustling to like get to the top. And that's how I was going to get my love and connection. So it's like, ooh, if that resonates with you, just being like awareness, loving awareness, and choosing to move into your feminine more if you've never moved into your feminine, or if you've done a lot of feminine work, choosing to like find this harmony and have intentional headspace around it being a harmony. It's not this balance where it has to be 50-50 or 60-40 or 80-20 or 20-80. Like there doesn't have to be this set in stone black and white energy around it. And some people even get into that trap where they're like, okay, well, if this works, this has to work everywhere. But I like the word harmony because harmony means it's flexible, it's flowing, it's fluid, it gets to change. So you can be in your business on a day where you're doing a launch, a lot in your doing energy, and that's beautiful, amazing, and awesome. And then you get to be like, in my relationship, more in your feminine energy, your feminine masculine, and flow in it. Or on vacation, just be in a ton of feminine energy and receive good things and allow yourself to relax and rejuvenate and be nourished and super supported and all those wonderful things. So there can be blocks to receiving by being nervous to let go of control, to like let go of that like white knuckle type gripping energy. So it's good to like be aware of those things, especially when you're in it, and be like, okay, we're gonna like let go of that, and I'll do a little bit of clearings to support you guys with that. But there's also the practical pieces where you get to be like, okay, do I just get to let my partner plan the day and like just have a full day where I don't plan things? And that was even really big for me 4 years ago when I was dating a new partner, and it was like, like I can't just trust him to like have it for the whole day. So you can start in small chunks, especially if you're like very like hyper masculine energy, super control freak energy, all those things. Be like, okay, loving partner that I have in my world, I'm going to totally trust you to plan an hour or a date night or an afternoon where I'm just going to show up. Like you tell me what I have to be wearing and I will show up and just receive and surrender to it and flow and allow yourself to receive it so deeply, because it can be unbelievably incredible to get to receive that. And then it's super fun because that will be mirrored in other areas. The more you're available and open to receive in your private life, in your personal life, it'll be reflected in your business life, which I also fully received last year, because being also the sex coach that I am, I went to this incredible expansive event and then had a partner off the back end of that, and basically like took 40 days off and had hot awesome sex and just like traveled and wasn't like posting consistently online. I wasn't like launching anything in my business. I was not focused on those things at all. And I came back and I had my first 20K month. And that was just me being so much more open to receiving, so much more my feminine, so much more allowing things and trusting the universe, like deeper levels of trust, deeper levels of this like divine feminine flow, and being like, I'm totally cool being way out here in my deep divine feminine flow. and I feel safe there and I feel grounded there. And then coming back in and incorporating more and more of the masculine back in without being afraid of the masculine. That, and I've also gone through huge layers of this where like even a year ago, I was scared to add the masculine back in because I'm like, what if I add the masculine in too much and it overpowers it? And then I'll like cut back on my self-care without wanting to, or it'll eat into my sleep and I'll be sleep deprived again because I was so scared that adding in too much masculine would burn me out again, would create all those negative impacts in my life. And that's also been reflected in clients. And we get to choose that. We get to make it playful and a harmony that we move and flow with. So you can be like, okay, cool. If it's a recipe, you should just like put in a little bit and take it a little bit out. Like it's easy to add in pieces and blocks and make it playful and not be afraid to fuck it up. Like no one knows what you're really going for. Like if you get too much masculine energy, play back into a little bit more feminine. Make it a flow, make it a harmony, and not make it so serious and so hard, because that'll prevent people from even like getting on the playing field, because they're like, well, what if I don't know how to do it? And if you just kind of take that piece off yourself to be like, I'm not going to be perfect here, but I'm going to show up and do it, it'll give you like way more space. Like give yourself space for grace to come into and to support you, which is awesome. I love you, Kelly. Getting lots of so good. Thank you. Appreciate the comments. They're always fun. Okay. And I could go on and on and on about feminine energy and masculine energy and all these things, but let's jump into a couple healing downloads for this. So do you want to clear, release, and let go completely in all levels of this like fear of your masculine energy, the fear that you can only be successful by being in hypermasculine energy, by being in a doing space all the time, that you can clear, release, and let go of any and all cords, contracts, vows, commitments, or obligations you have to doing it this way, and that you can give yourself permission to move forward on your journey with even more ease, speed, grace, joy, and love. That you can have playfulness in your life, that you can invite in fun and joy, and that you can allow yourself to receive unconditional love from yourself, from your higher power, and from your loved ones, and that you can receive equal financial exchanges in return for the energy exchange you support the world and your clients with. And if you would like all of that, you can say yes. And you want to clear, release, and let go completely on all levels of any and all fears that have come up around this, around your masculine or feminine energy, around stepping into your identity as an abundant woman or man or person, and that you can give yourself permission to move forward on your journey, to move in inspired action steps that support you, and that you know what this looks like and feels like on a regular basis, to move in your own unique inspired action steps without judgment, without second guessing, and without fear of failure, that you can actually get on the playing field. And if you would like all of that, you can say yes. And we can integrate all of these changes. And I can offer you general healing for any and all other areas of your body, life, and business that are ready to be healed right now. And fill you up with your higher powers, unconditional love, compassion, peace, and prosperity. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And take some deep cleansing breath. Just tuning into your body. And how are you feeling right now? And if you want to pop that in the chat, turn the comments if you're watching on Facebook. Let me know how you're feeling, how that's feeling in your body. If you want to stretch out, you can definitely do that. Make more space in your physical body for all the amazing downloads you just received. And always drinking water. It's important to be really hydrated, especially for any clearings and downloads you're getting. It's good to support the body and being hydrated. Kelly says, love you too. I love you so much. Okay. So those of you who are feeling called to this kind of energy, to these downloads, to these shifts and changes to really move forward and increase your impact and income in the world to 5K, 10K, 15K and beyond. If you're feeling called to that, I would love to invite you into next steps with me. And I have a variety of containers. So I'm super excited to be launching a 3-month deep dive group into all of these 3 keys that'll support you in clearing your subconscious limiting beliefs, creating your abundant identity and moving into that, stepping into it fully and embodying it, and really harmonizing your masculine and feminine energies, and allowing yourself to move in your inspired action steps. So releasing and letting go of the old versions of yourself that say it should be ABC, or I should do what other people are doing, or the comparison to others, or if a guru says they have to do step 1, 2, 3, maybe that step 1, 2, and 3 hasn't been working for you. And you've been trying and trying and trying that, and it's not working for you. So these 3 keys have been so supportive in my life, in my clients' lives. The people who just completed the course, they had their first 5K month. Someone literally launched their coaching business and had their first 3K month. Someone was like, I'm going to have 2K as my goal, and had a 3K month goal. Like, most of my clients get their return on investment really fucking fast, which is super fun, because when I used to invest, I was just like, I understand that this is going to pay dividends over the rest of my life. And then I started to be a little bit more intentional with my investments and being like, yeah, I desire to have a return on investment like fairly quickly within like a couple months of me completing programs. And then my private clients started like within a month of joining my containers, like getting the return on investment plus some. So I had someone who invested like just a couple $1,000s because it was like my old rates, and like had a 15K month on the back end of that, and then has been having like very high K months consistently since then. And I'm like, okay, cool. So people are really thriving with this. Like, people get to like come in, amplify their bright light in the world, increase the impact that they're having with their current clients, with the clients that they call in, with their audience and followers and people at different ranges of investments that they're with. So I was like, okay, this works super well. Let's continue to do group with this and allow even more light workers to come in and move forward with this. So I have a 3-month group, which I'm super excited to announce. And I will share my screen to share the amazing, very basic PowerPoint that I created. And it's interesting because this is also like my old version of me being like, I don't like technology. And I have this incredible VA who has also created a sales page and all the things, and that will either be ready tonight, or we'll send it to you guys on the replay, or give you the link to whatever that's at. So someone want to give me a thumbs up if you can currently see PowerPoint that says increase your impact? You want to give me those, like, yeah, awesome. All the thumbs up. Thank you guys. Love you. So, and this is me being like, after seeing all the things that lead pages can do and like the work in progress of that, I'm like, I feel like I'm in the Stone Age doing like manual, the old ways of doing things. But this is what I have, and this is me being like, I created a 6-figure business without doing things that I hate. So you guys also have total and complete permission to not do all the things that you feel like you have to, like that masculine energy of the doing, to not do that and still create a very thriving, successful business. And then to then delegate to people who that's their skill set and they love doing it and they're awesome and amazing at it, which I'm getting to experience, and it's so fucking amazing and incredible. So in this 3-month Increase Your Impact and Income program, we're going to go deep into all the things that we talked about. So if you got value just from this masterclass, like, this is me like barely scratching the surface. And also I do so many downloads and talk very fast because I want to give you guys a ton of value so that you can move forward and like really create change. So in this 3-month program, which is going to start officially September 8th and go to December 8th, but we're also starting a little bit early. So I also have early bird rewards for people who are like, hell yes, fast action people. There's awesome early classes too. So we're going to do 3 months together where we're going to have 90-minute live group coaching and healing calls. So it'll be at 8 p.m. Atlantic, 7 Eastern, and 4 Pacific. And we're going to do 2 calls a month. So it's every other month for actual like modules of me teaching lessons and doing healing downloads around that and having some hot seat spots at the end of those calls. And then I'm also going to do 1 hot seat specific call a month where you guys just come on and I literally tune into exactly what's going on for you. And we just like deep dive into those roots of those problems, clear it out and align you into your truth and let you like up level and fast track from there. So all of the recordings will be available within 24 hours. And some people, like even in this course that just ended and someone's already like signed on for the next one where they're like, I can't make the entire time of the call. You can always send me in your questions beforehand. So if you're not able to make one of the calls or a specific call, you can send in your questions, any clearings, any challenges that you're having beforehand that you want to be addressed on the call, and I will take care of you. We also have a bonus Facebook group, which is an absolutely incredible community. Right now it's women, but it will be women and men for the group. So if any lovely men would like to join, you're definitely free to join us in there as well, where you get to answer your questions. You have accountability and support in there. I did a lot of like Facebook Lives in the past group to really support you guys with like the deep dive downloads. If you have questions on your homework, to clear off those things. So it's support between our calls to really allow yourself the spaciousness to do your homework, to ask questions as you're going along, to get support so you're always building momentum, you're not getting stuck and you're not downward spiraling. We're here to support you, and the friendships that have already been created in the group, oh my gosh, it like makes my heart so happy. And it's interesting because I was even talking to a client recently who has felt a little bit like alone on their journey. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, join a group program. It's so amazing. And I've also experienced that throughout my journey, that I create incredible friendships during these types of communities. So I've like very much found in myself and also in my clients who are getting in the groups, how wonderful it is to have someone else who's like, hey, this is my challenge, and to be on the call and be like, oh my God, I was asked that question because I was having that challenge, and to be like, me too, this is going on in my world, and have people that you're going along the journey with, it just feels so much more like nourishing. And I love creating like a community like that. So I'm super, super, super excited, which is why I'm like, I'm going to open the Facebook group early to get that going to start the call, because I'm just like so excited for this group. And really wanted to like create it early. So I'll talk about when we're going to open early in a second. But for the people who are already like, hell yes, I'm so fucking in, how much is it? The investment is $2,222 US, pay in full fast actions. That ends August 24th, because we're going to do an early bird call for all the people who are early bird. So the installment version of that, if you prefer installments, is 888, because I love angel numbers and angel numbers love me. So it's 888 for 3 months after that. And then the regular price, pay in full, will be $2,777. So if you want to save a bunch of money up front, you can totally do that. Or again, because I love the angel numbers, 1,111 for 3 months, if you would prefer that. And if you're a current client or a client who has recently ended their packages or programs with me, I also have alumni rates available and current client rates available. So definitely send me a private message about that. Or if you're on my WhatsApp for VIP WhatsApp support, send me a message on WhatsApp and we'll get you all the information you need. So we're going to dive super deep into these 3 keys. So clearing off all the subconscious beliefs that have been holding you back, that have had these gaps between where you're at right now and where you're desiring to be. We're going to clear that away. We're going to go even deeper into creating your abundant identity and allowing you to embody it, to integrate it, so that it's what you're actually seeing in your everyday life, that you have all these boundaries, that you have the amazing soulmate clients that you're desiring to be working with, that you have the amount of money and your income and your profitability and in your bank that you're desiring to have. And we're going to go even deeper into this harmonization of your masculine and feminine energies and moving in inspired action steps and playing with it and giving yourself permission to play with all of this stuff. So this masterclass has just been like the tip of the iceberg, just like a little starting point. I wish I could go on forever and ever and ever with you guys, but I know that people won't watch like a 5-hour Facebook Live or a webinar. So it's important to know that this is just scratching the surface and that you can get everything that you desire. If you're feeling called to just end it here, I've also had people who make high months like from watching this, and then they make high months from watching it and they're like, okay, I totally need this in my life, like right now, because oh my God. But yeah, my clients who do this work, who really deep dive into this work, will hit their first 5K months, their first 10K, their first 15, their first 20. Like, you have permission to make as much money as you desire. And these shifts will create powerful results in your world too. So I have awesome early bird bonuses as well, because I'm always like a hell yes, fast action, painful type of girl. So I love, love, love rewarding my clients who are the same. So the people who do want to do the fast action bonus, you'll get the bonus 90-minute clearing call on Tuesday, August 25th. So that's why we have the early bird on the 24th. So you'll get access into the group early. So you'll get early admission into the Facebook group on August 25th and get access to live support starting then. So I definitely encourage you, if you're feeling called to this, to do the fast action, because then you'll get extra time with me, extra support on the clearing call to just clear off the stuff that isn't serving you right now, that you're like, oh my God, I just like need to get this off of my shoulders, off of my body, and moving you forward like right now. If you're like, I'm ready, let's go, definitely join now. So yeah, that bonus call is going to be on Tuesday, August 25th at 8 p.m. Atlantic, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. And I'm also going to get bonus you guys in the 7-week course that we just completed. So that was increasing your impact and income. It's like a very intensive experience. You can ask the people who joined. They're like, we had so much stuff and so much homework, and we were just like going through stuff. And they had amazing breakthroughs. Like people like achieved their goals. They were more visible online, like immediately started showing up more, started getting more engagement, hit their income goals. Some people didn't hit their income goals, but were like, ooh, if I like move it down, then that's more reasonable. And then I hit that, and then I get to the next one. So there's like so many wins that just came from that. And I was like, I have to get these modules out there to people so that if they want to start like joining like today and want to start like getting these downloads, and they're like, okay, well, I want to do the harmonization of the masculine and feminine energy, and I want to like just jump to that module and start to clear off those things. You can jump right to that module. If you're like, I want to do money mindset stuff, you can go right straight to the money mindset modules. So there's a ton of value in there. And I love you guys. She's like, I had my best month in your course. Thank you for sharing that. Laura's so supportive. Aw, thank you so much, love. I appreciate you. And the other things that I'm adding in there, just because like I also want you guys to get the most out of these experiences, and I want you to be able to like have as homework like, hey, if this is showing up for you, go straight to this and just go to it and not have to like wait for me to do the next call and address it there. I'm very much like, if it's coming up for you now, let's address it now, clear it now. So don't get like overwhelmed with all these bonuses being like, am I gonna have to watch all these things within this time? No, you will have lifetime access to these bonuses. So you'll also get Manifesting 101. That's a workshop that I did. That was this like 4-hour deep dive in creating your be do have list, which is who you want to be, what you want to be doing, what you want to have in your world, and getting really clear on that and manifesting those things, starting to bring that into your life already. And also clearing Money Blocks 101, which is like a 2-hour deep dive to clear, release, and let go of your scarcity around time or money or your energy, to clear, release, and let go of the junk that you're feeling around debt or financial responsibility, or if you're feeling junky around money, if you're not visualizing money as this like incredible being in your world that's like this amazing lover and support system and cheerleader and all these things, to just clear that off at the get-go. So don't feel overwhelmed by all these things. You don't have to watch all of this stuff, but I would much rather you be in the group and you have access to all of these resources, so that if something comes up where I'm like, oh, you're out of alignment with like money, go to this module, then I can just send you to that module and you'll have instant access to what's going on as soon as the problem comes up for you. I'm all about creating really supportive containers that builds on momentum, that you get to stack your wins on top of wins and have exponential transformation really, really fast. So if you're feeling called to that fast action, again, it's 2,222 because I love the angel numbers, or 888 a month for 3 months. So then I also have a VIP level. So for the VIP level, you have to get my permission to be in VIP. So it's for people who want everything included in group plus private access to me. So that's why it's more permission based. If you want VIP and you're feeling called to it, you can join the group level now, and then we'll set up a call with you to see if we're going to up level you into group. And if you've worked with me in the past, or if you're a current client and want to re-enroll or want to do the group level as well, then you already have permission, because I've already worked with you and I know who you are, and I know that you're like a hell yes type of person. So yeah, anyone who wants to do VIP, who's worked with me in the past, can go right into it on the buy links, can do right that. Or if you haven't, then you can buy the normal group and let us know that you want to be talking to me about VIP level, and then we can boost you into VIP. So that's going to give you an additional 2 calls a month with me. So you're going to get 2 private 30-minute coaching and healing calls with me per month. So that'll total 6 different calls throughout our entire time working together. So that is $4,997 US if you want to pay in full, or it's $1,997 a month for 3 months if you want to do the installments and that works better for you, then that's amazing. And there's only 4 spots left. So that's why we're being more intentional and exclusive with who gets to be in it, to make sure that they're going to be like, hell yes, people who thrive in it. VIP is not like the level that's for everyone. So group, totally ready for everyone. If you want to be in VIP, let us know and we'll support you with that. And I wanted to check into the comments because this is me with my old level. This is me being like, let me know if you want installment payments and you can do fast action there. So if my beautiful VA would like to let me know if the sales page is ready in the comments, then my chat will pop up. And we did not talk about this before. So this might also just be, you guys have this for now, and we'll put the actual sales page in the replay link. Okay. But I did not talk about this beforehand. I was just kind of like, well, she grabbed the YouTube link. These will be things that I create into my standard operating procedures of what I need to know and what I need to let everyone else know as I expand my dream team. And she's been amazing for like being way beyond on top of everything and like being like, oh, would you also like this? Would you also like this? So there's just so many good things. So I will copy into the chat this link. I'll have to exit out of this. I have to stop the share. I will have to stop the share. No, will I? Ha. I'm not teaching courses on how to use PowerPoint or how to use technology the best. So, well, let me pop this in. I'll copy all of this. Yay. And then stop share, go into the chat. The sales page is almost ready, but we will drop the link in the replay email. Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Okay. So anyone who is already like a fucking hell yes person, I just popped the link for the pay in full in there. If you're not sure if private is best to be working with me, you can also book a call to learn how to increase your impact and income. So if that's feeling more your space right now, definitely let us know there. I think I only have 2 spaces on my calendar for the next like week available for those complimentary increase your impact and income calls. So if that's feeling like your next step, you can definitely book that in. That's for people who really want to like get clear on where they're at and where they want to be and want to like see the gaps, want to like know where they're at and move forward quickly in clearing them to be like, okay, this is what's been going on. I'll also share with you the #1 block that is holding you back, the #1 barrier or thing. So it's like that big domino piece that clearing that out will like allow everything else to flow with ease. So it's been amazing to support people with that and be like, yeah, when you focus your awareness intention here, all this other stuff that you thought you'd have to do or all these different things will kind of just like be released from your life. So it'll allow everything else to just flow with ease from there. And I'll also give you a personalized action plan and how to move forward. So if you're feeling called to grabbing one of those 2 spots available on my calendar, you can definitely do that. And yeah, I'll open it up for the next couple of minutes if you guys have any questions about the program, if you have any questions about any of the stuff that we just talked about or downloads, or if you have any questions personally about what's going on, I definitely have time in the next couple minutes. So if you guys want to unmute yourselves or pop a question in the chat, you can definitely do that. Awesome. And thank you, Laura, so much. I'm signing off now. I appreciate the value you bring to your audience. You're welcome. My pleasure. So fun to do this. And I am planning on doing more of these calls because it's also super fun to just engage with people and I love doing it. Anyone have any questions? Anything you want to clear? Thank you so much, Joyful Goddess. You're welcome. My pleasure. Okay, I'll give you guys 4 minutes. Anything at all that you'd want to clear, even if you're a current client and they're like, oh, I don't want to take up time from other people. We can clear stuff. Unless everyone's being shy. You can pop it in the chat and I cannot say your name. My identity blocks, please. Yes. Okay. So if you want to put more details or if you want to hop on, you can do that. Otherwise, I can just kind of tune into where you're at and the things that I do know about you right now. Oh, are you driving? Okay, so she's driving, so we're not going to make her be unsafe in driving. Cool. So do you want to clear, release, and let go of the fear of stepping into the next level version of yourself? That if you step into her, that you won't be loved or accepted by your current ties, your current loved ones and connections or family, and that you can clear, release, and let go of any and all fears that in moving forward, you're going to be leaving people behind that you care about right now. And if you'd like to clear that, you can say yes. And you want to clear, release, and let go of any self-doubt and anxieties or worries that if you create space for new friends or a lover or a partner, that it won't actually come, and that it's safer to block yourself off from that or prevent yourself from getting there than actually moving into it and discovering it's not there. That you can clearly release and let go of the worry or fear that it's never going to happen for you, that that person or that friendship isn't actually out there, it's not real, it's too good to be true. And if you'd like to clear, release, and let go of those fears, those worries, those blocks and anxieties, you could say yes. And you want to clear, release, and let go of any and all throat chakra blocks around not wanting to speak it into your reality. The worry that if you speak it to yourself out loud or to someone else and it doesn't happen, that you'll be a failure, that people will think that you're crazy, that it'll be even more painful because you admitted it out loud. And if you want to clear that, you can say yes. And you want to clear, release, and let go completely in all levels, any and all fears that no one else is going to grow with you, that you're going to be alone at the top, or that you're going to be even more isolated or separate from other people by making more money. And if you'd like to clear those, you can say yes. Okay, and I didn't see anyone else in the chat who would like a turn, so we can integrate all of these changes. And again, all of these are in the exact present moment. And just because I tuned into one person's energy for those downloads, it's still for the entire group. So everyone can say yes to receive all of those. So we can integrate all of those downloads and all of those changes. And I can offer you guys a general healing for any and all other areas of your body, life, and business that are ready to be healed right now. And fill you up with your higher powers, unconditional love, compassion, peace, and prosperity. And if you'd like that, you can say yes. And take some deep cleansing breaths. And I'll send you guys so much love and light. And I'll tune into Facebook and check the chat for that afterwards. You guys can keep putting in any questions that you have. If you have questions about the clearings that we did, the group, anything else, I will definitely check into the Facebook replay as well. So I'm sending you guys all lots of love. You guys can feel free to share the replay. If you're watching the replay, share the link with other people that you love. Share it on Facebook if you're watching it on Facebook. Tag a friend who needs it so we can all increase our impact in the world and really be the change that we wish to see. So I honor you guys for showing up tonight, for spending your precious time with me, and for showing up to serve others. Thank you so much. And I'm sending you guys lots and lots of love. Checking into the comments again. Thank you so much, Laura. I just pulled over. Awesome. Thankful for the rest stop. Beautiful. Lovely, lovely. Sending you guys all so much love. And I hope you guys have an incredible evening. Bye.